off today with the intent of just doing a general cleaning video, showing some various tips and ideas you might want to have. But it kind of took a whole new direction as I was using some of the various products here. As you know, I'm a big believer in PBW, as I think most people would agree. What's the cost that people wonder about? They contrast that to OxyClean. Some argue it's every bit as good. I personally also use Barkeeper's Friend. Very good as far as cleaning your kettles. And then Straight A, another cleaning product that I find to be quite effective as well. What happened is, as I started doing some of my work, I took this hop filter that I used in the boil kettle, and it's a 400 micron stainless steel mesh screen, ideal for getting all kinds of stuff stuck to it, a lot of buildup. You know, anything in your brew kettle, of course, is going to be subject to a lot of that buildup. And so I cleaned it the first time with PBW, had the typical great results. Then I wondered, just for the heck of it, what happens if I try the same thing with OxyClean? And again, you guys who have watched my videos know I'm not a proponent of one over the other. I think every one of these has a really good place within your cleaning regimen. So you can see that my findings are unbiased and it's just sharing information. I think that if you try each of these, you'll find the one that's best for you, and likely, just like me, you'll find out certain ones do better for certain things. So let's go ahead and get started on this, and I'll give you my conclusions at the end. This is my hop screen that I use, and it's been a while since I've done a deep cleaning with it, so I'm going to soak it in PBW, and we'll see what the results are. You can see, if I hold it up here, just residue that's been left. I clean it pretty thoroughly each time. Like I say, it's been a while since I've given it a really good soak, so this will be a good demonstration for how well PBW works. I'm also going to throw in my ball valve pieces here, all my miscellaneous brewing hardware down there. Figure as long as I'm making a batch of the PBW, I'll go ahead and put as much in as I can. I'll go ahead and use this old 3-gallon bucket here to hold the PBW. I'm going to heat up to about 145 degrees, put it in there, let it soak overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow and rinse it. Let's see what happens. The overnight soak is done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all that stuff over there, move it in over here, rinse it with this water, which I've heated up to about 130, 140, the same temperature that I originally soaked this stuff in, just to give it a really good rinse. Then we'll pull the stuff out and see how it looks. Okay, so here's the end result. Look at this. You can clearly see the line where the water level was with the PBW in it. And keep in mind, this is a, what is it, 400 mil mesh screen, so very fine. All the hop residue and particulates and all that really can cling onto that, and it's just soaked overnight and rinsed. Down here in my other bucket, all the other pieces, and equally as beautiful, quite clean, just the way they should. I'm so happy with how the cleaning of this filter worked with PBW. I just had to try it using some OxyClean, and we'll compare the results. Like I mentioned in some of my other videos, I use all these products. I really don't have a strong preference or bias towards any of them. Like everyone else, I just want to use the best and most economical thing. I use a lot of PBW, and I really like it. I showed you how I use Barkeeper's Friend. Wonderful product, very inexpensive. But for things like this, where you can see the stuff that builds up on this really fine filter. This is 400 micron screen. You can see how dirty that is. I'm going to really put the OxyClean to the test. So what I'll do is soak it for an hour and then rinse it off really good, and we will compare the results. Okay, here we go. I've got about 3 gallons of hot water This water is about 155 degrees. I'm going to add to it 3 scoops of the OxyClean. I'm using the Versatile Free because you don't want any of the perfumes and chlorine and stuff like that in there. And then I'm going to just put the filter that we looked at in there and just let it soak. Put a little water in first. Three scoops. Now the rest of the water to mix it all up really good. Pop the filter in, and we'll start the clock. Well, it's actually been close to 2 hours, and I got busy, so we're still okay. Really doesn't matter. You can let it soak all night if you wanted to. Let's reach in here and just give it a little shake. This other bucket has rinsing water. It's about the same temperature, 150 or so. I just want to be able to get a really good rinse. And we'll be able to tell easily once it's dry. But based on what I'm looking at here, I think that the results are, I don't think they're going to be as good as the PBW. Let's go ahead and just, oh yeah, definitely not. I can see, yeah, I can definitely see where some of that was not lifted. Well, this is very interesting. All right, well, I have some exciting news here where instead of putting this over in PBW and stuff like I thought, I went ahead and I just lightly cleaned it with a soft cloth, really. Basically, just kind of wiped it down, and it really made a big difference. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the cleaner and do another rinse job on this part. And we will see how it comes out. But I'm expecting some pretty good results. And this will really kind of validate the OxyClean as certainly very viable. So let's give me a few minutes. I'll rinse it off a little bit better. Wipe it down again with just a soft cloth like this. Nothing special. Very lightly, just really wiping it off, not scrubbing. And we'll see how clean it gets. I'm going to finish this video right where we started it. I brought this out in the light so we can see it better. And I have got to say I am very impressed. Virtually all the residue was lifted and most of the stains as well. I think this is a really nice testimonial for OxyClean. And I use a variety of different cleaners for all my different pieces of equipment. But this really looks great. Hold it up here next to the light. Can see through it. All of that stuff that was caked on before has now been removed. So anyway, I guess I'll just post this one under the category of cleaners. It's a good data point for those of you who are following the PBW versus Oxy debate. Gotta say, pretty happy with how this came out. So there you have it. Pretty good results out of both of the products. I would say this. The PBW, without doubt, completely lifts and separates all buildup on all surfaces. The OxyClean did a great job as well, but it wasn't until I got in with that light brush and did some gentle wiping across the dirty areas that I got that complete separation and lifting of that material. So what that tells me is if I'm going to be cleaning something in an area I can't inspect or maybe can't get a brush or rag in to finish the cleanup, PBW may be a better choice there. But for other places where I can easily inspect and maybe do a little touch-up work, the OxyClean may be a better way to go there simply because of the cost. Again, I'd reiterate that for those of you in clubs or who just can do a bulk purchase on your own, Take a look at the pricing of PBW in a size like this, and I think you'll start to see that even though it may still be incrementally slightly more, the gap versus the pricing of PBW versus Oxy definitely starts to close, and it makes it a little easier, if you will, to buy what arguably might be a slightly better product. So there you have it, just one man's opinion on the benefits of all these cleaners. I think if you try them all, you will find out what works best for you and adapt your own system on how to maintain your equipment. So cheers to you, good luck brewing, and keep that equipment clean. We'll catch you next time.